Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Barbells and Banter podcast. This is episode 19. Already at 19. God. This is the NI Sammy Porter's bench recap for 2026. And yeah, we kind of left a few people out for the preview, and I do apologize for that. Because I'm still new to these recaps and previews, but I think I've got everybody covered for the recap here. It's kind of a rushed episode, and as you can see, it is just me. I have no co-host. I don't even think Bobby knows about this, so we're just gonna go straight into it. Yeah. Uh, this was the first comp held at the MCI Health and Performance Gym in Bangor after 30 years of Sammy Porter hosting the Bench Press Championships in Sammy's gym in Macara. Uh, I believe the switch in venue was due to like space issues because it was an ever growing comp. But again, hats off to Sammy for hosting this comp for 30 years straight. But yeah, we'll hop straight into the junior 84 plus weight category with Caitlin Charlo. Also, this was the comp that happened yesterday, and I think everybody knew that. This is Monday as I'm recording this. So junior 84 plus with Caitlin Charlo. She went three for three and hit 82.5 kilos for a bench PR of 5 kilos and set a bench only record in the junior 84 pluses. Yeah, she had a perfect day. I didn't really see very much because she was in flight A, I believe, and I was in flight B. So you don't really see much of the flight that was before you or you're sharing with. Um, the Master 169s had three people in it. We had Janine Evans, Nicola Jenkinson, and Claire Conway, who I left out in the preview. My bad. Um, yeah, Janine took first place with 75.5 kilos to chip the record. Nicola Jenkinson came second in place. I think this is her first comp off of British Masters, and she went one for three. Not the best day, but she came out with a 75 kilo bench with an attempt of 76 to win, but it wasn't there on the day, sadly. Also, just a side note that I haven't watched every single one of these lifts because I think it would have took too long to analyze every single one of these lifts. So I'm just going in through the lifting cast, just as a little side note, and just whatever I've seen on Instagram, because I can't just sit and listen and watch all day. Sadly. But Claire, we had in third place, and despite being third in the weight category, she went three for three, and as she mentioned on her story, she hit 65 kilos bench raw for the first time since 2017, which is obviously a great achievement for her, and hats off because that is 9 years since she last hit 65 raw. God damn. Um, So the Master 184s, we have Laura Kelly, who went two for three and chipped the record on her opener with 80.5 and ended the day with 85 kilos. I believe she failed her second of 85 and retook 85. Correct me if I'm wrong. But in the Master 184 pluses, we have Stephanie Hill, who came first with a 3 for 3 day of 87.5 kilos for a 5 kilo PB. And Catherine Higgs, who also went 3 for 3 with 65 kilos for a 7.5 kilo PB. So both really good days for both of the girls. In the Master 184 pluses, and we move swiftly on to the Master 269s, where we have Naomi Ross and Kyla Mulholland. Naomi came first with a 3 for 3 day, hitting 60 kilos bench. I didn't note if that was a PB or not, but a pretty good day, so I'd assume it is a PB. Kyla came second place with 3 for 3 for a 60 kilo bench. I think there was a bigger weight gap between the two of them as well. It was about 5 kilo weight gap. But still, 3 for 3. can't ask for anything better. In the Master 284s, we had Jacqueline Pope hitting 3 for 3 and a 68 kilo bench to chip her own record to 65.5 from on her second from March. Yeah, I believe that is her own record. Yeah, got to she hit her second of 65.5 and hit 68 after that. So 65.5 on the second and 68 on the third. In the Master 3s, 57s, we have Jane Talbot, who I think George handled her. But a pretty good day for her with 3 for 3, 56 kilos, and a new NI record. Hats off. I didn't know there was very many people who still powerlift at the age of the Master 3s. I kind of hope that I'll be up there eventually. If I don't get bored and switch to another sport, which I hope I do not. But in the Open 63s, we have Megan McFarland, who she did a 60 kilo bench with a 2 for 3 day and failed her second and got it on the third. So, so she took 60 on her second, failed it, and got it on the third. And I'm assuming it's a PB because I can't find her on Open Powerlifting, and there's a few people here that I won't be able to find on Open Powerlifting because maybe they competed at a rookie or haven't competed before in the NIPF or just at all. So I'm just purely going off what is there available to me because a lot of people have private accounts as well, and as a local federation, you don't really see very many people sharing what they're doing. But the Open 76s, we have Laura Edwards, who went 3 for 3 and hit 62.5, which is a 2.5 kilo PB from Commonwealth 2024. And in the Open 84s, we have Sophie McMullen, who she didn't have the best day. She went 1 for 3 with a 70 kilo opener, and she loaded 75 for a second, which had a jury overturn. I'm not sure why because I didn't watch it back. And then she failed 77.5 on her third. But it can't always be a perfect day, and I think what most people will gather out of that sort of performance is that you can't always walk out perfect. You are gonna hit roadblocks on the way. And I don't think a lot of people knew that there was going to be a jury at the competition as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the first time there's a jury at the NI bench. But I wasn't at any previous NI bench, so uh, geeks, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just here with the ideas, and that's actually the second comp this year we've had a jury at. But moving swiftly on to the 84 pluses open with Hannah McKee, who she put up 101 kilos for a new record, and I believe the heaviest female bench at a NIPF comp in the bench only, and this won her best overall female in the competition. And in the guest women's, we have Sonia Lewis with she put up 3 for 3, 62.5 kilos for a 2.5 kilo bench PB from the June Open, which happened at RTF a month ago. I'd take that. Yeah. So the sub junior 66s, we had Joshua Graham, who went 1 for 3, sadly. He loaded 92.5 on his first on his opener, and he failed 100 on his second and third. But I was reading the bench only records as I was making these notes, and the current record for the sub junior 66s is 110 kilos, which has stood since August 2014. So maybe keep an eye out for that record. It might fall next time he competes as a bench only. You never know. But yeah, I'd keep an eye out for that sub junior 66 bench only record. Also, apologies if I'm talking fast. In the sub junior 74s, we had two newcomers. Alexander Gone, who went 2 for 3 with a 127.5 third. I believe he loaded 127.5 and missed it on the second and got it on the third, which put him in first and broke the 125 record for for a first timer. This is really good. Um, this is what I predicted he did, or he was going to do, because I've seen him bench a lot non comp standard, and I believe that he translated really well into this competition. I thought he was going to do. I'm not praying on anybody's downfall, but I wasn't sure how he was going to do with comp standard in his first competition. But he definitely blew mine and Bobby's predictions away. But yeah, I'd be happy. He he also had about 7.5 kilos in his third, so there's definitely going to be a lot of records being taken by Alexander. In second, we have Caleb Stewart, who went 3 for 3 with 87.5. Uh, it was under his bench PB as far as I know, but still a great day considering he weighed quite light into the class. And he is also definitely somebody to look out for, because I know he has that drive, and he he was originally going for the 66 record, but due to certain just due to being a growing sub junior, there's no point capping yourself at a weight class that early. And I think, a bit off topic, but I think that's one of the things that a lot of people do not lay eyes on, is that sub juniors stick to the same weight class so early in the sport, like from their first comp onwards, whenever they should just let their body grow. But we're not here to talk about debates. We have the sub junior 83s, which we have Ewan, Mark, and Christian. Christian, I know you know who I'm talking about, or I know you know I'm talking about you. I do not know how to pronounce your name, and I do not want to get clipped for mispronouncing it. But we're gonna say Christian F. So in the sub junior 83s, we have Ewan, who came first with 3 for 3. He benched 140, which is not his PB, but he has benched 150, I believe. He benched 150 at least once. I can't remember if it was once or twice, but it was definitely once, because he benched 150 a week after tearing his quad at the March Classic. Hats off for that. I don't think I'd be benching, or I don't think I'd be doing anything, let alone benching, if I tore my quad. And then I don't think I'd be doing anything a week after competing whenever I tear my quad or something like that. Yeah, not his PB, but he didn't have to push, so there was no point in pushing. And he's definitely a contender for the record soon, and we could maybe see this fall at Commonwealths. Mark Campbell in second. He also went 3 for 3. Another unlimited boy. Uh, he hit 135, which is a 7.5 kilo comp PB from the December Classic, and a great day for him. And he's definitely another person to look out for. Yeah, he's an insane bencher, and I wish I could bench like these sub juniors. Christian, he went 2 for 3 and placed third, and hit 122.5, which is a 10 kilo comp PB from the rookie in February. Uh, I don't get why he was very stressed at the start of the day. Whenever I was speaking to him, and I just had to keep telling him to calm down, because I just kept telling him he benched more than me. Like, how can one come out, or how can one be stressed for a 10 kilo comp PB? But fair, everybody copes differently. He's also on the come up, and I believe that if he locks in fully, then he's going to be a good contender for the record too. He loaded 132.5 for his third, but missed. I did not see it, so I don't know what on. Uh, but yeah, insane ventures in the sub junior 83s. Now for my weight class, with which definitely has no bias. In first we have the Spider-Man Crocs. If I can show the video listener or the video watchers. Um. Yeah. So Junior 83s. That's where we are. Bobby, first. Gonna since there's a bit of bias, I am gonna show. I am gonna share for those who don't know Bobby's lead up into this comp. So first of all, Bobby came first, 3 for 3, and hit 152.5, which is below or five kilos below what he hit at Nats for his junior record on 2.5 hours of sleep, and I applaud this. He The reason he had 2.5 hours of sleep is so he decided that it would be a great idea to go to Luke Combs on Saturday night. Uh, Bobby lives in Carrickmore near Londonderry. That is a 2.5 hour drive from from Carrickmore to Slane Castle, back again to be at home for 3 o'clock in the morning, go to sleep, 2.5 hours of sleep, to get up at 6 a.m. to drive 2 hours to Bangor. But yeah, love of the game, I guess. He spotted and loaded after. I wish I could have, but I was meant to be working. But that's not about that. We're not talking about that. Matthew Flanagan, Mr. Geeked himself, me and Peter Bridges pulled up to the comp, and this guy was already walking along the street in his NI singlet. Matthew, I'm convinced you sleep in that NI singlet, and I suggest that you hand it over to the authorities right now, because I think that the NI singlet has had enough of you. Uh, love and peace. He had a 3 for 3 day with 150 kilo bench as his redemption from Nats. He did bench it at Nats, but it had down up movement, so obviously a no lift. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty happy for the guy, and I think he was pretty happy himself because, as some people probably saw on stories, that this guy was doing muscle ups and climbing like a monkey and hanging from squat racks. I think Josh had to tell him to get down at one point. Yeah, Mr. Flanagan had a great day. Or Flanagan brother number one had a great day. Me, I went 3 for 3. I didn't peak for this comp, and I hit 117.5, which is a 5 kilo PB from March Classic, which I had kilos there anyway. Uh, Personally, I believe I maybe had like 125 if I maxed out, but it was a fun comp. I don't regret not maxing out. But less about me. Peter Bridges, 3 for 3 again with the Unlimited Boys hitting 3 for 3. I think the whole this whole weight category hit 3 for 3. Uh, Peter matched his personal best from June comp with 87.5, and he won on body weight against Peter Byrne. He was originally going to go for 85, but I think Reese made the attempt change so he would lift after Peter Byrne. Turns out Peter Byrne hits the 87.5, which is a 2.5 comp PB. So Peter Bridges had to load the 87.5 to win on bodyweight by zero point 0.2 kilos. Could we see a Bob versus Matt Flan again? Possibly. Junior 93s with Dan Flan, and he went 3 for 3 with a 167.5 kilo bench. I can't. It's definitely a PB. And 22.5 kilos off the record of 190, which is long standing. Personally, I see it falling soon enough if Dan Flan commits and dedicates himself to breaking that record. It will. I see it well falling maybe next year at Sammy's. possibly. I'm not sure because obviously progression slowing down. You never know what happens. Oh, external factors. But yeah, junior 120s we have first mm, sorry, first timer Calvin Abraham, long time coming. He went 3 for 3 with a 140 kilo bench, and safe to say that Bobby and me, uh, we did not think very much of the guy, and I am very sorry to Calvin for that because he's one of my close mates. Uh, but yeah, he even put up a whole video about Bobby expecting less and him proving wrong, which I thought was quite funny because, yeah, just he had a great day. Calvin, goat. Uh, he gives me lifts sometimes. Master 193s, we have Justin Carl. I probably butchered that, but that's just the Larn accent, so just deal with it. He got first with 2 for 3 and hit 147.5. Then we have Richard Ernie with second place. He went 3 for 3, perfect day, with a 130 kilo bench for a 2.5 PB from what I believe he competed at the June Open as well. And Chris Mills, who placed third and hit 2 for 3 with a 120 kilo bench. I believe he loaded 127 on his third, but he didn't get it. Still perfect day for these men. This was one of the weight categories where it wouldn't show up on open powerlifting for Justin and Chris. Only Richard, I was able to see open powerlifting results. So either they're just not entered properly or they haven't competed before, but definitely even com- despite the circumstances of maybe not competing before, these are like pretty good benches for the competitiveness. Yeah. Master 105s, we have Anthony McLagan. He went 3 for 3 and benched 210, which I did watch back and it moved very swiftly. And it is a matched PB from British Masters in at the start of June, so maybe about a month and a half difference. This got him best overall male, and absolutely balled out. He went 3 for 3. I think I already said that, but yeah. Masters 120 pluses. We have Jacek Stanek. I probably butchered that, but I'm assuming Polish name. I did search him up on Open Powerlifting and it was coming up Polish competitions, so I'm assuming that it was the same guy. He went 1 for 3 and benched 200 kilos and failed 210 twice for a 0.5 kilo PB from Open Powerlifting. Just from what I've saw, I'm assuming that that's the same person. Master 283s, we have Mr. Jim Rossborough, who was competing twice in one day. As we mentioned before, this was his raw performance. He got first and went 2 for 3 with a 142.5 kilo total, or 142.5 kilo bench, not total because this is a bench only. He failed 147.5 for a 1 kilo PB on his British Masters third of 146.5. Although still pretty good day. Gary Pope came second, went going 3 for 3 with a 100 kilo bench and a 10 kilo PB from the March competition. Hats off. Master 293s, we have Roger Graham. He also did not come up in open powerlifting, so I'm not sure of his PB, but he went 2 for 3 and hit a 125 kilo bench, which is pretty snazzy. I wouldn't complain if I was him. On the opens, we have the open 93s with Jack Snoddy, Mr. Geeked, referee, coach, powerlifter, you name it, he's everything. He went 3 for 3 and hit 132.5. Sorry, my voice went weird there. He hit 132.5 for a 7.5 kilo comp PB and a 2.5 kilo redemption from his Nats performance, which he wasn't very happy with on bench, I believe. Yeah, perfect day for him. Wouldn't complain. Open 105s, we have Curtis Robinson, who also did not show up on open powerlifting, so I'm assuming he's either entered wrong or first timer. He went 2 for 3, and he did 95 with he got 95 with overturn on 100 kilos. So I'm not sure of his PB because of the open powerlifting thing, but still a pretty good day. I'm not sure what he got overturned for, but I'm not going to be doing most of this sort of not knowing for most of the rest of the recaps that I do. I'm going to be doing it more thorough and actually watching back why people got overturned. This is just rushed. But in the open 120s, we have kind of the fell off battle that was meant to happen between Trevor, Jack, and Cameron. For those who don't know, Cameron suffered from a fractured hand and ended up being in the back seat and taking photos for the whole comp, which I think he probably enjoyed anyway, but it would have been nice to see him in that battle, even though Trevor's a good 30 kilos clear of Jack. But you never know. It would be entertaining. Trevor Jordan, first place, highly expected. 3 for 3. He hit 210 kilos, which is 2.5 kilos below what he hit in comp. It moved pretty fast. It was one of the other ones I watched back. And I saw his 202.5 a week out, and I knew he was on for something big, but I don't think that he was going to push it. So 210 seemed pretty right on the day. It moved really fast, and he's only 3 or 4 months back from injury rehab from a torn bicep, I believe. Trevor, don't crucify me if I got that wrong. Jack Gilchrist, our media partner himself, he came second, 3 for 3, perfect day, a 182.5 kilo bench, and a 2.5 comp PB from his 105's best performance at 106.4 kilo body weight. So he's technically still a 105. As I say, he came up to 120s for this battle against Trevor, and while Trevor was spitting in a cup, Jack was eating to Kingdom Come. Apparently on his Instagram story. In the guest lifters men's, we have, or in the men's guest lifters, we have Ryan Phillips Martin, a 4 times English champion in bench press. Come over just sort of for a fun calm day. He has benched as much as 245 kilos, which crazily is more than my deadlift. Mogged. Yeah. He went 2 for 3 and hit 220, which is still an insane bench. I was speaking to him a bit before, and he was just saying this is going to be a calm day out because obviously he's lifting as a guest, so I don't think he was able to set any NI records. He was at he came first in the men's guests, and hit a one or yeah. He came first in the men's guest, hit 220, and was at a 120 plus body weight, while Andrew Howard in second went 3 for 3 with a 147.5 kilo bench, and he was at 105 kilo body weight. Just for anybody who actually cares about that. Now that we're done with the raw, we have the equipped flight, which is pretty interesting. And I don't know enough about equipped to talk about it for long enough, so we're gonna briefly cover it and then cover the parts that I kind of thought was insane. If anybody has any extra comments in on this flight, show it in the comment section, because everybody else is gonna know more than me about equipped, especially, and about some of the lore, or just like performances in general if anybody's coming back from injury and But we're gonna go straight into it. In the Open 76s, we have Lauren Elder, who has competed internationally for GB multiple times. She went 1 for 3 and hit a 105 kilo bench, then failed 110 on her second and 112.5 on her third. She, despite this, still got best equipped female and a 5 kilo bench PB. So, yeah. She's also a weight class above what she normally competes at. She normally competes at 69 according to Open Powerlifting. But still, pretty good day. I'd take best equipped, or I'd take best in the category, or like type of lifting, whatever. Like, yeah. Uh, Equipped sub junior 93s, we have Lucas Nelson, who he went 3 for 3, and I believe this was his first time competing equipped, and he hit 105 kilo bench, which is pretty good because I believe that from what I know, equipped is difficult to do, so it can increase your bench or your weights to an extent, but you also have to know the range of motion that you have to go through to actually lift efficiently. I don't know enough about equipped. I'm a whore for raw, okay, but we're just gonna go for it. Junior 105s, we have Joel McFarland, a common shower upper for these comps. He was at the June Open, and he went 2 for 3, matched his June Open third with 160, which I believe was just a matched PB. Still moved pretty good from what I saw. In the equipped Master 283s, we have Mr. Jim Rossborough, who is appearing again because I think he just wants the spotlight. Um, he couldn't choose between raw and equipped for today. I think he competed raw, or no, I think he competed equipped last year, from what I remember. I don't have open powerlifting open on my tab at the moment. We're just gonna roll with it. He went 3 for 3. And despite competing raw that morning, he still added 7 kilos to his equipped comp PB in the same day. So he hit 180 off a 173 comp PB from last year's equipped performance at Sammy's. So he competed equipped at Sammy's last year, was the verdict. In the Master 293s, we have Darrell Park, who also did not show up on Open Powerlifting, so I'm assuming this is his first competition. He went 2 for 3 with a 175 kilo bench. Pretty good day. I wouldn't be I wouldn't complain, which is a lot of things I would have said today because I don't think anybody bombed, as far as I know. Nobody bombed, and a lot of people went 3 for 3. Correct me if I'm wrong if anybody bombed, but whenever I looked at like lift and cast, nobody bombed. So sue me. On the equipped Master 366s, the only other Master 3 on this competition, Harry Horner, he went 3 for 3 with a 107.5 bench and a 2.5 equipped comp PB. I believe his first equipped or his last equipped comp was at the June Open in RTF. And a lot of 2.5 PBs from the last competition, which is still take it any day. Take it while you have it, is the main thing to get out of this. But we are slowly closing in on the end. We have the Open 93s in the equipped with Thomas Murray coming first for a 2 for 3 day with a 175 kilo bench. This was his first equipped comp, as far as I know, and a great performance. Like, I think his bench was somewhere, or I think his raw bench was somewhere in the 130s. From what I remember, I did look at a lot of open powerlifting pages before this, so I could be getting mistaken with somebody else, but as far as I know, that's pretty good for a first equipped comp. And then we have Emmanuel Thompson, uh, who came second. He went 2 for 3 with a 155 kilo bench and this was his first equipped comp, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, Open powerlifting only showed 2 or 3 comps, so it could just be an entrance error or entering error. Great performance from Emmanuel. Now we have the Open 105s with Richie, Mr. Franklin Richardson. He went 3 for 3, and I believe he met the predictions that me and Bobby had for him. I think Bobby predicted him somewhere in the 230s. For his bench, I predicted him in around 220 to 225, so I think I hit bang on, unless he just wanted to load it um, because of my prediction. You'll never know. He hit 225 kilos for his first equipped comp. And he's a crazy bencher, as I covered before. First equipped comp, definitely got roped in because he goes to Asylum. Uh, I'm watching you. You're all a cult. Trust me. He had a 190 kilo bench at Nats, and I think he loaded for a 195 kilo bench, raw, with no wrist straps, which is crazy. 225 for his first equipped comp is just as crazy, and I think we can see. I think this won't be Richie's last equipped comp either. There's definitely a lot of room for him as well, so we could see him compete equipped at every Sammy's from now on. Never know. Um, on down to the last few people, we have the Open 120s with Mike Gibson. This was probably my favorite performance. Because he was coming off a 286 record or something along those lines in the equipped 120 bench. He went 2 for 3. He hit 290 on his second, which is absolutely insane. I don't definitely won't be deadlifting that for a while. He loaded 300 on the third, which I did watch back, and it was crazy. And definitely there. Soon enough, it's not off the books entirely. This got him the best equipped male lifter award. 300 did move. Like it went down, it went up. I just don't think he could lock it out. Crazy. I don't know what they feed him. What do they feed this man? Mike, you are a crazy bencher, equipped or not. It's truly crazy. Equipped 120 pluses. Open 120 pluses, I should say. Ryan Kelly came in first with a 2 for 3 performance. Benching 215. And this is a 27.5 PB since South Africa Commonwealths. Pretty good day. I wouldn't be complaining if I hit a 215 bench. And a 27 PB. Nearly 2 years since he competed, but who cares? It's still a PB. I can guarantee that was pretty sentimental, if that's the word, like, or meant a lot to him. And then we had in second we had Stephen Kennedy, who he went 2 for 3 as well. He had a 162.5 bench, and I believe this was his first equipped comp. And for a first equipped comp, this was a very good performance. I believe that there was a lot of first timers for this competition, and a lot of, I'd say definitely Josh would be able to say this more than me, but it's good to see a lot more people try and equipped. I probably will try it at some point if I get tied down to a chair, like Black Ops 1. But it's crazy, like, I think there was more crazy equipped performances this comp than there was raw. But there was definitely way more raw lifters and a lot of records broken at this comp, which was which was a definite prediction for this competition. And everybody, nobody bombed. That's the main thing. I think if we all had to take something out of this comp, is that we all didn't bomb. Even Bobby, who was on he was on 2.5 hours of sleep. Like, this is where I end the episode. Like, yeah, but like, yeah, everybody didn't bomb. Everybody had a good day, and just to close out, I want to say this was an insanely well run comp, and I would like to thank MCI for hosting, MCI for hosting, NIPF for having yet another smoothly run comp and a well organized comp, and thank you to everybody who volunteered because I know that it was a hassle to get volunteers. I didn't volunteer for the first time at this comp because of work. I would have stayed behind to volunteer, and I hope Trevor doesn't smite me for not volunteering. Also, thank you to everybody who handled and was able to collaborate on handling because I knew there was a lot of people who was handling quite a lot of people at this competition. It was quite hectic. The warm up room was quite cramped, but we can improve on that in the years to come, and I believe this comp has a lot of room to grow now that it's in a bigger venue as well. I kind of do wish that I got to see Sammy's comps in person, but what can you do? It's already moved on. Uh, and thank you to everybody who dedicates their time voluntarily to the growth of the sport. I think that's everything, and I'm probably gonna get um criticized in the comments or in a DM, be like, "Oh, you missed something." Uh, this episode was planned in 45 minutes, so sorry, but yeah. Thank you everybody for listening. If you got this far, I do like to keep my suggestions open, so DM me if you have any ideas. I'm taking all of them in. And approach me at comps. I want to speak to more people. And I also want to show them my Spider-Man Crocs. So yeah, leave suggestions, leave feedback, give me stuff that I could do better, give me people I could bring on. Yeah, and yeah, see you at Sammy's 27, or I'll probably see you at the comp I'm next at because I somehow managed to appear at every comp now. Uh, yeah, good afternoon, day, or night, wherever you're listening from, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, or whatever. Goodbye.